If you have never seen the sun rise, I urge you to do so. Good morning, guys. This is athletic performance coach Will Alley from Indiana Strength. Just on my morning walk and figured instead of listening to a podcast, I'd talk to you guys. This is more so for those young coaches out there, sport coaches, or more specifically strength coaches. Just basically the best secret to being the best coach there is, right? There's a few people heading to work this morning, but hopefully you guys can hear me. So I'll get to it. The secret to being a great strength coach. Matter of fact, let me give you a bit of backdrop. The other day I was listening to a podcast. It was with Brian Mann and Steve Olson. He's the owner of Strength Coach Pro. And Brian Mann is well known for his research and his work with velocity-based training. And working with interns, working with young coaches, I get a lot of questions about VBT. Matter of fact, shout out to Rep 1 Strength. I just got my linear positional transducer in the mail yesterday, so obviously I'm going to be messing around with that this morning. But I get a lot of questions about VBT, or a lot of questions about just how do I use VBT and do this kind of stuff, or other questions about how do I use assessments, or what are you doing to track workload and like your GPS data. And trust me, I'm probably nerdier than the rest of them when it comes to just putting together Excel sheets that present data and all that kind of stuff. That, I don't know, I do that for fun. But I guess what the secret is all those things are just tools in a toolbox. And Brian Mann said it really well, and said it really well in the interview, that velocity-based training is kind of like a GPS, right? Whereas percentage-based training, for example, is like a map. And to say that one is better than the other is disrespectful, because I still remember my first time driving. I didn't have a GPS. I was using maps, or I was printing stuff out from MapQuest. Some of you, shout out to those of you guys who remember that. So I think about that and I go, you know what? There's a lot of validity there. Now, on top of that, load is a really great way, and some people say it's like having velocity-based training is like having another strength coach in the weight room. Absolutely correct. Problem is that strength coach can only modify load. That strength coach doesn't teach technique. Okay? Not too long ago, I listened to Bob Alejo say some really smart things. By the way, if you haven't signed up for All Access, he's going to be speaking this week on All Access. But he said something that stuck with me, and it hit me right in the ribs, which was awesome, because he said, tell me what technique and that thing that's out there, and I'll tell you what we used to call it. What that means is there's really nothing new, right? Talk to Johnny Parker. He wrote a book, The System, a number of years ago that has things in it that honestly people are still trying to learn about today. So I guess where I'm going with this is here's the secret. You want all these tools for your toolbox. Problem is you don't have a big enough toolbox yet. You haven't expanded it by doing the basics. And some of those basics are write out your squat progression. Like, tell me what that is. Tell me how you plan on teaching certain things. Tell me how you plan on communicating with certain individuals. And I'm telling you, you will be a much better coach for it. What you need to tell me is, how do you plan on shaping a program, right? How do you plan on influencing the lives of young men and women in athletics, through athletics, and doing that with training? What is your method of getting somebody stronger to the point where velocity-based training can actually be a factor? Because Louis Simmons said it. It's like, velocity-based training don't work if they're not strong enough. Right? So they have to be strong enough first. How do you plan on doing that? How do you plan on getting to that point? Now, that probably wasn't the secret you're looking for, so I'll give you a little bit of a little extra nugget. Everything that you plan on using technology for, design a program without it. I'm telling you, then you'll become a better coach. But before that, make sure that you know the basics. Make sure that you're able to communicate. And once you can communicate, get some buy-in, right? Have people believe in you and what it is you're capable of doing with them and for them. That is probably the best kept secret in this coaching biz. Stay tuned for more. Until then, be safe. God bless.